Good morning, my friends, and welcome to Paint with Sal. I'm about to show you the best painting palette in the world. Whether you're an acrylic painter or an oil painter, this, I think, is the best possible palette because it's cheap, it's efficient, it keeps your paints wet, and, well, let me just tell you about it. This is the palette. Doesn't look like much, does it? Just a box? No. So let me just show you the palette really quick and then I'll explain how to do it. I'll explain how much it costs, how to make it. So this is a DIY palette. Ooh, beautiful, or actually kind of messy. A little bit messy. I should have made the paint more beautiful on here. Alright, see that? So, that's your painting palette. See how it's a box, it closes, and put a little tape around here which keeps the moisture in. And best part about it is this is glass. This is glass, so you can just take a scraper like this and scrape it right off. Look at that, beautiful, a beautiful clean palette in seconds. Alright, so you can take that, and I just like to put a bit of that into the trash. Just clean it off with a rag, and you're all good to go. Everything I'm about to talk about is all linked below on Amazon, so if you want this really cool scraper, which has extra blades in it, in the back there, then you can get that on Amazon. Using my links, I put everything on there, all these cool things that I like to use to make art, and usually the cheapest because I'm a cheapskate. Alright, so that's how it works. I did it very quickly, so I didn't get everything off there, but if you don't get everything off, you can just use a rag like this and get it all off. But usually it'll come all off perfectly with the razor. Look at that, beautiful. Alright, let's go into how to make this. So, as you can see, you start with a box. The box that I like to use is an old silverware box. It's a really great size. See how big that is? Great for a palette for painting. And I get this at Goodwill or other thrift stores. These boxes are usually $5, sometimes they're $2. I'd say between $2 and $10 for these boxes. I should have filmed this, but I was actually at a Goodwill yesterday, and there were 8 of these. I was looking for another one so that I could make this video, but I decided that I would just, for now, go with the one that I already have. Alright, so you take out the innards. Since this is made for silverware, typically there is a little bit of felt in here, so you take all that out, and then you paint this. I paint it with an acrylic so that it keeps it nice and dry in here. And then the palette itself. So what you do is you find a frame, a picture frame, also at Goodwill or another thrift store. And these picture frames, they can go from $1 to, say, $5 typically. You look for one that'll fit in the box, doesn't have to be perfect, because what you're gonna do is, hey, look at that, nifty, comes right out of here. So this one didn't fit perfectly. I took some poster board, or whatever this kind of board is, kind of like poster board. And I put that on the back of the glass, and then in between the glass and the poster board, if it's not gray already, you can put a gray piece of paper there. Because if it's white, then it's a little harder to tell your values, like your white won't show up on the white background, so I like to put the gray in there, and that really helps so you can see all the colors for what they are. So then you'll just take some duct tape and tape around the edges. And what I like to do, as you can see right here, is I cut a little divot in there and in the other side, and that's how I get it out of here. Is I put my finger in that little divot. I'll just show you here. Put your finger in there. Let's see, can you see this? Put a finger in there, and that way you can take it out easily. Then, if you want to, this was from an old Stay Wet palette that I had. So it's a sponge, and you can get it wet and put it in there to keep things wet. But I kind of forgot that was in there. What I do is I just grab a regular sponge, I cut it in half, and then I place it in there. Whenever I stop painting, I get the sponge wet and I put it in my palette. And I close it up, and that keeps everything wet for a long time. So I can close up this box for weeks and my paints, my acrylic paints, will still be wet. So it's really great for acrylics. So the reasons this is the best palette in the world is it's cheap. So like I said, the box might cost $5, possibly less, the frame a couple dollars, some tape and poster board, and then you paint it with the acrylic paints that you probably already have, and that's what, maybe $10, probably less than that. I believe this particular box and everything I put into it cost me less than $10. I think it was $9 in all. So it's very cheap. So it's cheap right away when you first put it together, but then it also saves you money because you're not letting your paints dry up ever. So you get to save money on paint as well. So you're constantly saving money by making a box like this. So that's the first reason. Second is because it's glass, it's easy to clean, you don't have to get new palette paper all the time and throw everything away, you know, bad for the environment, yada yada, all those kind of things. You reuse this, you can use this for years and it will always be good for you. And why a box is good as opposed to anything else, I've tried other things, like I've used basically this method where I just have the palette like this sitting on the desk, and then maybe I put something over it, you know, like a shoe box, like the top of a box, but that just doesn't keep enough air out of it, so it will end up drying, and you forget to do it because it's not sitting right there. I would forget all the time, and then my paint would dry. So this being attached to it, and you seeing this big square up in the air whenever you leave your paints, it's not easy to forget. You see this, you think, oh, okay, I better close it then, and you're all good. And you can transport it around, you're not getting paint anywhere, it's just a box, good to travel with. You can make any size you want, just find the right box size for what you want, and the right picture frame that's gonna fit into the box. So I've had smaller ones than this, and I'm currently looking to make a bigger one than this. I would like to fit this entire table or a bigger one, but you have to find a very large box. And also it should be somewhat flat because you don't want to be trying to get over massive sides when you're sitting next to it. So as flat as you can here, not that tall. Let me know if you have any questions about it in the comments below. I will help you to build one of these yourself. I've done it a few times at this point, so I know what to do, where to go, how to save that money, and please just leave me a comment if it isn't a question, just to say hi, let me know what you think about this setup, or if you have a better setup, I would like to hear about it. After all my research looking online to see if anybody has something like this or better, I really haven't found anything. That's why I think this is the best possible palette. I can't think of anything better. And also let me know if you want me to show you any more of my setup. As you can see, well, I'm currently in a garage. I am in between moving in a garage here, so I have all this stuff right here. Like, for example, this is a little dog. See this little dog here? Yeah. If you want to know what little dog is for, then let me know. Maybe I'll make a video about little dog. And did you know you should watch this video next because you'll learn something really cool from it. I'll see you there.